UFC 299, O'Malley versus Vera 2 takes place in only a matter of hours, and I'm going to go through my last-minute detailed prediction and breakdown for the whole entire card, starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event, giving my full reaction to the full card, starting with the early prelim opener of Joanne Wood versus Marina Moroz. I'm skipping this one. Who gives a fuck? Wood gets a close decision win because she's better. A lot of people picking Moroz. She doesn't care about this anymore. Look at her Instagram page. CJ Vergara versus Asiel Mabayev. I'm going to go for Asiel Mabayev. I think round one, Vergara might start off fast, trying to go for something. I think Asiel Mabayev will counter him, be more technical on the feet, be more better on the feet, more switched on the feet. And I think he'll get the takedown. I forgot what I picked him by. I picked him by decision. And I think he'll just get a takedown. Close first round, can go either way. I think the last two rounds, Almabayev's going to start to put it on him. And I think he'll get a decision win. 29-28. We move on up the card. What is else? Rebellis to Spain versus Josh Parisian. I'm going to go with Rebellis to Spain by first round KO. I think Josh Parisian's going to go out there, plod forward. I'm going to say to Spain flying knees him in the face. I'm going to predict this one well. I think he'll flying knee Parisian right in the fucking face and put him out cold. First round, 10 seconds I'll say. I'll say 10 seconds. Gets it done. Rebellis to Spain gets it done. No, you know what? Will he feel the jitters in his debut? Fuck it, no, he won't. Josh Parisian shit. Doesn't know what he's doing. Rebellis to Spain gets it done. We move on up the card. Felipe Lins versus Ion Cutelaba. Ion Cutelaba, I think he'll get it done by a first round combination KO. I think Felipe Lins will be just trying to kick a lot. I think Cutelaba's going to try, faking level changes, chopping the legs of Felipe Lins. And I think Felipe Lins, all of a sudden, when he gets his legs shut up, will just stand there. And Cutelaba will 1-2 him and drop him bad in the first round. Land a combo, land ground pound shots, and put him away. First round KO for Cutelaba. We move on. Up the card. Mikhail Pereira versus Mikhail Alexeychuk. I'm going to go for Mikhail Pereira. What did I just say? Mikhail Pereira will win this fight. See, a lot of people picking Mikhail Alexeychuk here, but I think Pereira will win. Just on the outside, keeping it calm. I think he'll go out there, use some grappling. I think he has very underrated grappling, so I think I'll be outstriking Mikhail Alexeychuk round one. I think round two, Pereira wins round one, by the way, on strikes. Round two, Mikhail tries coming forward now. Pereira shoots the takedown. Big middleweight Pereira shoots the takedown. And I think he'll out-wrestle Mikhail for that round. And round three, I can see him just do the same thing and win a 30-27, 29-28 decision win over Mikhail Alexeychuk. When you move on up the card, Pedro Munoz versus Kyler Phillips. I'm going to go with Pedro Munoz losing. So that means I'm going to go for Kyler Phillips. I think he'll get the job done by decision. In a robbery kind of fight. This one will be a bit of a controversial one. I think Munoz will go out there. I think he'll get eye poked immediately by Kyler Phillips. Munoz is fighting now. Phillips wins round one by just outstriking him. Munoz is starting to feel mentally defeated. Loses round one. Round two, Munoz starts to do well. Phillips starts landing shots on him. Starts landing decent shots. Munoz is starting to chop the legs. But Phillips is landing shots still. Jabs and that. It's a close round. Munoz chopped the legs, but Phillips landed the straight shots and the jabs. I think Munoz, while this is all happening, Phillips is moving around. So the leg kicks aren't hurting as bad as Munoz wanted him to feel it. I think Munoz leg kicks didn't have the effect he wanted it to be. That made any sense. In round three, I think Munoz will start to break. Phillips starts to beat him up more. 29-28, 30-27 again for Phillips. We move on up the card. Mateus Gamrot versus Rafael dos Santos. I'm going to go for Mateus Gamrot in a very boring fight. I think this card will be a mixture of things. I think there'll be some fun fights, but some boring fights on this card. We'll get to MVP and Sean O'Malley in the second. The stars and Israel Adesanya. Notice how all the stars are quite boring. I'm going to go for Gamrot. Boring decision, just out-wrestling the RDA, but RDA, like, Gamrot tries going for some sub-attempts. RDA is defending them, but he can't really get up from the takedown. So I think Gamrot will just win a boring 30-27. Terrible, terrible, terrible decision win. Yeah, we move on up the card. Caitlin Serramana versus Macy Barber. I think Caitlin Serramana will go out there and beat Macy Barber. I think Caitlin Chukagian, her name, let's be real. Caitlin Chukagian. I just can't get used to her new name, Sermanara. I can't get used to that. Sermanara, Chukagian, I think will lose the first round. Barber's going to start landing shots on her. Maybe rock her for a second, but I think the last two rounds, round two, Chukagian will start to mix in some good takedowns because she does have good grappling at the end of the day, offense especially. And I think round three, she'll just start to break Macy Barber. And I think she'll get it done. I think she'll get the job done. But decision win over Barber by beating her up, slicing Barber open, and Barber can't really get up from the takedowns. We move on up the card. Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. I'm going to go for Curtis Blades. This is one where I wanted to break it down kind of. I think Jailton Almeida will have a kind of less embarrassing Claudio Puella's Ryan Hall type performance. Is what I think here. I think he'll have a less embarrassing Ryan Hall, Claudio Puella's type performance. I don't think he's going to be rolling around like a retard. But I don't see him. I could see him kind of struggling to get the takedowns and looking kind of shit on the feet. And him like, oh, fuck, can't get the takedowns. You know, I think Blades will win another I think this will be a really weird card this will be. Not a boring card, but a lot of boring fights. But I think it'll be some fights to where you're like, oh, shit, this is a good fight. And some good finishes. I think Blades will go out there, lose round one, maybe falls off balance. Jailton gets him down, but can't really get a sub. So he wins the round, just staying on top. And I think round 2 and 3, Jailton will start to slow down, failing the takedowns. Blades is an all-American wrestler. And I think Blades will start to outstrike him on the feet by having more power and better striking. And I think he won't KO Almeida. Will keep it safe on the outside. Or on the inside, let's be real. And I think he'll get it done by decision, 29-28. Split decision I'll go with. I'll say split decision. One stupid judge scores it for Almeida. Other two score it for Curtis Blades. We move on up the card. Petr Yan versus Song Yadong. I'm going to go for Petr Yan by another split decision. I think Petr Yan will go out there, lose the first round. I think Yadong will start to land crispy shots in the first. Chop the leg to Petr Yan. Yan's doing well, though, keeping up, but he's losing round one, just getting kind of out-tagged a little bit. It's been over a year. I think round 1 will go to Song Yadong. Round 2 will go to, what's his name? Petr Yan. I think Yan's going to start to mix up some takedowns and sweeps, Muay Thai sweeps. And I think he's going to start to break Song Yadong, piece him up, give him a swollen eye. And round 2, I think, will be Petr Yan. Round 3, I think Petr Yan's going to start to really badly hurt Song Yadong. Really badly hurt him, like really start to pour it on. And if it was a 5-rounder, I think Yan would have gotten like a 4th round TKO. But I think in a 3-rounder, he'll get a 10-8 in the third, look really good in the third. He gets a decision win 29-27 over Song Yadong. We move on up the card. Gilbert Burns versus Jack Della Maddalena. I'm going to go with Jack Della Maddalena over Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns will lose. I think round 1, Gilbert Burns will try to like land overhands on Madalena, but Madalena moves out the way, counters for a right, lands a left. Burns pushes them up against the fence. Tries going for some takedowns, doesn't work. Madalena elbows him on the side of the ear, moves away. Burns is trying to come in. He gets countered again. The jab starts to land on Gilbert Burns. Madalena is starting to land some really good shots on him. Burns tries to duck down, overhand, left hand, takedown, falls by the cage. Madalena starts pouring it on towards the end of the round. Madalena wins round 1. Burns looks like shit early on. Round 2, I think Madalena's going to start to pour it on more. Burns can't really get what he wants. Can't land his combinations. Can't land his takedowns he wants. And Burns starts to get beat up against the fence and goes down. So I'm going to go Jack Della Maddalena by second round KO. We move on. Up the card. Kevin Holland versus Michael Page. I'm going to go for Michael Venom Page, over Kevin Holland. I think Kevin Holland's going to look terrible again. I think this card's going to be a really weird one, man. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think this card's going to be a really weird one. I think Michael Page is going to go out there and get it done. I think Kevin Holland early on is going to land some decent shots, trying to be focused, but Holland's going to get his legs chewed up by the leg kicks. Holland tries moving out the way of them, but gets leg kicked by the other leg. I think Holland will move her out the right leg kick, left leg kick. Doesn't see it coming. Chops to the left calf of Kevin Holland. Holland starts doing well, starts landing shots. Tries going for some takedowns. Doesn't work. Page lands some shots again on the feet. Lands a shot that stumbles Kevin Holland. Holland smiles, and this is where Kevin Holland, at the somewhat point at the end of the first round, will give up. Give up trying. And I think he'll start laughing it off. Round 1's close, but they give it Page, I think, very closely. And I think round 2, Page will just start to kick him up. It could be a very boring fight. And I think Holland's going to start trying to land shots where Page doesn't see it coming. Page lands shots back. I think Page will just keep ahead in this fight and win the third round like that and have a very boring debut. I think he'll beat Kevin Holland, though. 30-27, 29-28. Holland gives up at the end of the first. We move on up the card. Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint Denis. I'm going to go for Benoit Saint Denis. I think he beats Dustin Poirier. I think this is how it goes. I think round 1, Dustin Poirier, what's it called? I think Dustin Poirier will stand shots on the feet, land some crisp shots, has his little guard up. Benoit tries landing a 1-2, Poirier counters him, but then he lands the body kick, slides it under the I think Poirier will have a high guard after getting head kicked by Gaethje, and Benoit come off a head kick KO. So I think Benoit's going to slice body kicks into him, into those ribs of Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier will start to wince a little bit. Benoit starts chopping the legs, Poirier tries chopping back, but I think then he'll get taken down. And I think Dustin Poirier will get taken down. Get taken down at the end of the first round. Benoit steals the round for himself. I think round 2, Benoit Saint Denis will take down Poirier and start landing big ground and pound, and eventually getting a neck crank rear naked choke where Poirier taps and retires. My official prediction: round 2 sub for Benoit Saint Denis. We move on up the card. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Vera 2. I'm going with Sean O'Malley by a boring decision to stink up the end of this card. I like Marlon Vera. I think he's going to try being too technical early on. I think Sean O'Malley's going to win the first round. We all can agree. Round 1 goes to O'Malley. I think he'll just be too much for Vera, landing too much for him, outlanding him significantly and totally. And I think he'll win the first round. And I think round 2 and 3, Vera is going to start failing, trying to outstrike O'Malley to prove a point. Can't really get his game off. His leg kicks aren't working. O'Malley's checking his leg kicks. Tries landing head kicks now. Not working. O'Malley's just keeping ahead. Doesn't really care about the KO. And I think he'll just win the first 3 rounds. 4 is going to be interesting. I think Vera's going to start doing all right, but O'Malley's trying to piece him up a lot more now. Vera's face is like swollen up a little bit. O'Malley's clean. 5, I think Vera will go all out. O'Malley tags him a bit, but Vera has a good round 5. Goes for it. Landing shots to O'Malley where you're like, oh. I think he might win the 5th round, but it won't be a laugh. 50-45, 49-46, 49-46 for Sean O'Malley. And that's it. Like, subscribe, thank you for watching. Peace.